guys, Gus here, bringing you this collaboration video between Warhammer Will and myself.
Yeah,
and on the far right we've got Sam and
Will. Hi,
Will.
I'm Will. You may know my channel, Warhammer Will. If not, check it out. If you don't know Gus's channel, Colour of the Gods, then absolutely check that out. We've got some great painting videos on there, and yeah, some good stuff.
But luckily we both, or all of us, go to the same club together, and these guys have been shooting videos here for the past couple of months, so we thought why not share our thoughts on the up and coming 8th edition Warhammer 40,000. So yeah, that's what the theme of this particular video is.
Yeah, new 8th Ed 40k was announced this week.
Yeah.
Haven't officially got a release date on it yet, but we are looking at certainly this year and probably within a couple of months. So yeah.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? And so the first question I've got for you guys, of course, is so what do you guys actually know so far? Like, you know, what are the rumours that are swirling out there?
Yeah, well, from what I've seen so far, Games Workshop have been doing weekly releases. So we've got some new stats. So I believe we saw stats for Dreadnought.
Because they've been like leaking, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been doing it on a daily basis. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
We've got new stats for a las cannon. So we know how weapons are semi going to work and have strength value. We know we're losing armour values for vehicles in place of high wounds, high toughness. So we get some interesting stuff.
Because they brought back multiple wounds, haven't they?
Yes.
With the weapons.
Yeah.
They brought back multiple damage.
Yeah.
So like a las cannon, I think now does D6 wounds. So although like now a dreadnought has 8 wounds, a las cannon does D6 wounds. So you'll still get through those fairly pronto.
But it's not like with vehicles before, whereas like in the last cannon you punch through the armour and there's a chance for you to wipe the vehicle out. Whereas now it's like you're gonna have to like chip away at them, right? Slowly but surely.
It's going to be much harder to one-shot vehicles.
I mean, I don't think you can't one-shot the Dreadnought, but I think they've also brought save modifiers into the Dreadnought has a save now.
Of course, yeah, so you get like a -1 or -2 to your save.
Yeah. So I think from the leak profiles we saw, Marines are keeping their 3+ save. Dreadnought's also getting a 3+ save, but like a las cannon would be a -3, so you'd only get a 6+ save against it.
And it's also bringing a thing that almost everything could hurt everything else.
Yeah.
But they're also keeping strength values,
yes,
which is nice. So you're not getting a flat to wound roll, you're getting a strength value, and then you'll still have a wound shot.
Because with like the ballistic skill, that made sense. Because before it was just your value corresponded to a to-hit roll anyway. So you might as well just put that to-hit roll in the profile.
Yeah,
exactly.
I believe that's what we're getting now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's right according to the leaks. Yeah, you'll have a flat to hit, and then your wound, unlike Age of Sigmar that also has a flat to wound, in 40k you still compare strength and toughness.
Yeah, so you still got the chart, which makes sense as well. So you sort of like, you know, high strength wounds.
It sort of comes in with what Games Workshop was saying, is they're not dumbing down the game as much, but they are simplifying it.
Yeah, they're just making it more, I would say, commonsensical.
Well, I'd say from my experience, it's very hard for new players to pick up the game currently in 7th Ed. So.
Well, I mean, and again, we spoke about it earlier. Like, how many books do you have to have per army now? It's like.
Yes, you can be hauling. I mean, if I'm running a full Yanari, I need to run a 40k rulebook, Fracture of Biltan for the Yanari rules, and then up to 3 of the Eldar, Dark Eldar, and Harlequin supplements.
Well, yeah.
And that's just to play my army.
That's just, 5 books in one go.
And
it's
that's
like
5 books, and then you can ally in a Homunculus Coven.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's big stuff.
Yeah,
but,
it's pretty hectic, isn't it?
One thing we do know so far is that all of those books are going. You're not going to be able to use your 7th or 6th Ed Codex in the new edition.
So like what they did with Sigmar, all the current codexes are getting a rewrite. So yeah, that'll be hopefully the rewrites. I believe they said they were a free download.
No, they're going to be cheap and available on release day, but they're not going to be free.
But with the caveat that Games Workshop have come back and said if you bought a book in this time frame, you can get your money back on it.
Yeah, if you bought it in the last 8 weeks before they announced the new edition.
That's good. I didn't realise that.
As long as you've got proof of purchase, which I think is going to be the problem for most people, because I
believe it's only rules books, so they're not carrying the Gathering Storms as well.
Well, the Gathering Storms are mostly fluff, which is still going to be relevant because this isn't a complete wiping of the galaxy start again. They're wiping.
Yeah, it's not like end times like with fantasy.
They're not blowing the galaxy up. It's still the universe we know and love, but the timeline is just creeping forward at last.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how long has it been static for? It's been static pretty much since the start of 40k,
30 years. Yeah.
The thing is, it's been. You say static, but it's a growing universe. At the same time.
It's expanded in terms of added to it, but they're not advanced the timeline. So it's
now they're advancing the timeline, which is I think what we need because it's been in one place and there's only so much expansion around it you can do without having to move forward.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes it. I mean, look, I know the theme of 40k is it's meant to be like a slug and a grind, and it's meant to be grim dark. But yeah, you're right. As you grow, the whole setting grows. You have to eventually start moving the timeline models. Yeah. Certain factions and certain areas within the world are going to feel completely stale and stagnant. It's the same thing for 30 years, right?
I mean, there's all these jokes about Abaddon having 13 failed Black Crusades.
I know, yeah. He's fucked a lot of things up, hasn't he?
And finally, he's got one right.
Fail Abaddon. Arm falls off.
Well, now he's done it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have seen the new map they brought out, but so it's the same galaxy. It's not like they've changed, but they've updated the map to represent the changes. So there's this big warp rift running right down the middle.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool. All the chaos.
Just remember that Cadia broke before the guard did. Mm-hmm. The planet literally broke before the guardsmen did.
Didn't he crash a Blackstone fortress into it?
Yeah, basically. No, he tried to crash a Black... Oh, no, it was a Blackstone fortress in the end, yeah. So,
just give up! Just give up, stop fighting!
Literally cracked the planet in half.
Yeah, literally destroyed it. But I mean, what's the sketch now with flamers? Because I've heard that the templates are now not there anymore. They're getting rid of templates, right?
Getting rid of templates. So a flamer is a range 8 weapon, which is essentially the best of the old template anyway. Yeah. Still strength 4, but it does.
So it's like D6 hits or something.
D6 hits, so it doesn't roll to hit. It's listed as assault D6, and then special roll doesn't require to hit. So you just pick a unit in 8 inches, roll D6, it takes that many hits at the flamer's profile, which I think is strength 4 with no save modifier.
So flat D6 auto hits, bang, strength 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to have line of sight again, though.
That'd be nice. It's another thing you don't have to carry around. Like, you don't have to carry a set of templates. All you need is your dice, your tape measure.
Exactly, yeah. Because, I mean, we're always losing our templates. I find I know you currently don't have a full set.
Yeah, no,
I don't even know where mine are.
I have like a flamer template and a template which I've nicked from my Horde set, which has the small and large blast on it, which I've been using because I lost my large blast and the big blast, and then I lost the rest of my Horde set.
And I'm forever forgetting to bring my 5-inch, my big pie when I run my old pass here, and then whenever I forget the big template, that's when I roll up Eldritch Storm and actually need it.
It's like with flamethrowers as well. Like apparently, I mean, as soon as I saw that there was no templates in the game, I'm like, okay, right. Then I ended up being a complete geek about it, and I was like, right, how do flamethrowers work in real life? It's like apparently, like against cover, flamethrowers are rubbish. So if you slide behind a little wall, the fuel can't get over the wall. So actually, cover makes sense. So the way they're like designed, even though I know it's a game, but it actually makes sense when I think about it. But and what about these psychic phase? Because that's completely different now.
Yeah, so that has literally come out today. So we're filming this on Friday, and Psychic Phase just came out this afternoon. So there's no more rolling for a pool of dice at the start of the turn. They've essentially nicked the entire mechanic from Age of Sigmar's Magic.
Okay.
So every Psyker will have a list of powers that will be specific to their race, as well as one core power, which is Smite, which does D3 wounds that can't be saved by any means.
So it's no longer the psychic tables, like the specialities, it's specific to race, is it?
Well, I don't know if it's specific to race per se, but they did seem to imply that.
Yeah, I'd say they've implied that each race is going to get their own sort of speciality set.
Yeah, and then every Psyker will have a number of powers they're allowed to cast a turn. So it sounds much like Sigmar, where most people can cast one. You're a pretty elite wizard if you can cast more than one power per turn. It may be different, it may be like 2's the norm, because it's the normal mastery level.
So they've almost kept the same distribution of power level in terms of the psychic mastery being on such disparate levels of power at sort of same stepping scale.
Potentially, and then
it'll be nice for psychic heavy armies, but same thing like with Sigma, what they've done. Also, you're allowed to pick your powers.
Yeah.
So if you look at a chart, instead of rolling a d6, you go, well, actually, I just want that one, which is something Sigma has been doing.
Sure. Okay.
Which makes sense in a fluff perspective. You're not going to take a psychic from a random pool of dudes and decide which one you want.
Exactly.
You're going to go, actually, I need that ability.
I'm not just going to like open the cage and be like, you, grab him out of the cage and be like, do stuff.
And then for actually casting the powers, obviously there's no pool of dice that you pick from and choose how many you're going to roll. You just roll 2 dice and you have to beat the casting value, which for pretty low level spells was something like 4 or 5, so pretty easy to cast. More powerful
above
ones.
or below? So
You have to 2d6 and beat it. Yeah.
Okay, right.
So you're looking for more than 4. More than
Sort
5.
of almost classic fantasy level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just flat 2d6 roll, and of course that makes it slightly more reliable because then you've got the normal distribution of the dice in, don't you? With 2 dice you always get the average of 7, which
Yeah,
makes
on
it a bit
average
more.
you should get.
And I don't know what they've said about dispelling yet, but I know in Sigma your opponent gets to roll 2d6 for every wizard in a certain range.
I think it's working the same way, but you have to be within 24, whereas I think in Sigma it's 18. So if you're within 24 and you essentially just get to roll to try and beat what they cast it on, and if you can beat it, you can stop it.
Yeah.
So you just have like an automatic dispel, you don't like have to throw any number of certain dice, dedicated dice to it, like in fantasy, for example.
But you do have a certain amount of wizards that can dispel, so once you've got through all the spells, you then can't stop their powers. So there is that technical element of, well, I'm not going to use my wizard to stop that spell, because I want to stop one upcoming.
Yeah.
And then you can throw out chat spells to try and trick people into stopping those spells you want, and then cast the ones you want to get because they can't spell.
Yeah.
And it's going to mean that armies that are really psychic heavy aren't going to sort of be like completely screwed if they have a bad roll on their number of dice. Because I mean now, if you're running say Magnus and Araman in the same list, and you roll a 1, you're going to be really struggling to get enough dice to make them worth their points. But now, say Magnus can cast 9 spells, because 9's the number of...
Hey Magnus, can you fly for real?
We don't, obviously, I don't know if that's what it's going to be, but that seems like a cool idea. He can, you can attempt to cast 9 times, regardless of any kind of other effects. So that will be, and Perils of the Walk is staying. They haven't said how it's staying. I imagine it's double 6, your Perils, or double 1.
Or, doubles.
We don't know.
And I would assume it might be a table again, like a rules table.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
So at that point, randomness does make sense.
Sure.
Dipping into warp is a bit random.
Yeah, it's the warp, isn't it? It's like, you don't want to be dipping anything into that. And then, I mean, we've already sort of overlapped slightly with the tying into Age of Sigmar. So, what elements of this do you think overlap and tie in with Age of Sigmar, and what do you think is kind of distinct or stayed distinct and stayed separate?
So we've mentioned magic already.
Yeah, magic and
I can read that's going to tie in quite similarly, which is nice because that means you can flow between the games easy enough.
Sure, yeah.
The addition of movement values, so previously everyone in 40k moved 6 inches, now it varies. I think from the elite profiles we've seen there's not much to say who's getting what, but we know Marines and Dreads are getting 6, Terminators get 5, I imagine Megaforce will get 5, Eldar might get more, Vormagaunt's will probably have something crazy because they're Vormagaunt's.
Well, they're going to be fast. And again, when you charge, it's whoever charges gets the initiative then, don't they? So
that's what I've heard.
So definitely.
I don't know if they're going to do Sigma like style combat with 40k.
They haven't said. They've certainly said if you charge, you get to hit first. What happens then? Who knows? There is initiative value, so the back and forth, like in Sigmar, is certainly an option they could do, but we don't know at this stage. But I'm liking the fact that if you charge, you get to hit first because it encourages more aggressive, active play. I'm just thinking that's what...
And it's going to be very tactical with the movement because you've got all the different movement values. It's not just a bog standard movement value. Now you're just kind of, using movement across the board. Oh, this unit needs to move slightly further away because that unit of his can move slightly further and get a further charge in, so it's having to maneuver.
One thing I really don't hope they port over from Sigmar is the turn priority. So at the start of each battle round in Sigmar, you both roll a dice, and whoever rolls the highest then goes next. You can choose to go next. I personally am not a fan of that rule.
That makes things a bit too random, I think.
Because you can get double turns. Without the you go, I go, the game style, it's unfair for a player who then has to sit through a double turn.
Yeah, and I don't think they will, simply because they've made a real point of saying this is still going to feel like the 40k we know and love.
Yes.
You know, so
that's what I'm really hoping it keeps. It keeps the same feel, and the rules reflect the game. And, you know,
it's
the whole
not
theme
going to be Age of
stays.
Sigmar in space, but they're just pulling over some ideas that worked in Age of Sigmar. I mean, one thing, the way run works, you know, it's still a d6, but you just tag it onto your movement. A lot of players have been doing that anyway. I think the only people that really don't are Eldar players looking to use battle focus.
Like when I'm moving my Orc boys, I've got a horde of 30, I'm just like, can I just run these now? I don't have a psychic phase, it's not going to make a difference. So, and it just moves
just get them going.
Keeps it simple. And that's taking some unnecessary complexity out while still keeping the same sort of core feels.
One thing I also think they're going to do, because they're scrapping all the codices, I think they're going to merge factions like they did with Sigmar.
Yes.
So you'll get like a Space Elf race rather than Eldar, Dark Eldar, Minari. You'll get a mix of them. You'll still have the individual factions, I imagine, but you'll have them intermixed in one sort.
So it'll be like under one heading, but then subdivided under that one heading.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yes.
So like all the separate.
Subdivided into vampires, skeletons, zombies.
Yes, exactly.
And like with Sigmar, you get some bonuses for running all within, say, Order, and you get further bonuses if you say run all within Stormcast Eternals or all within Fire Slayers. So if you choose to run all Imperium, you'll get a bonus.
So it encourages you to stick to the theme almost, doesn't it?
If you run all Imperial Guard, you will get Astra Militarum, you'll gain more specific bonuses.
Astra Miller, what? You're in the Guard, son.
I mean, with the Gathering Stormbooks, that's what we were seeing, is a merge of the factions into one. That's what makes me think they're going to do the Sigmar thing.
And do you think that reflects the? I mean, I'm thinking out loud with the Eldar. Do you think that reflects the Eldar and the fluff?
Semi, sort of, yeah. They're all willing to work together, but not all the time.
The Eldar and the Dark Eldar by no means really like each other, but they kind of see each other as two branches of at least the same race. Right? They're still, they're still
some link of
worthy
kinship there.
beings, whereas. To be honest, particularly the Dark Eldar essentially see anyone who's not an Eldar as essentially nothing more than an Eldar.
Yeah.
And the only reason the Yanari are particularly keen to work with the Imperium is simply because they need the Imperium to defeat Chaos, because they haven't got the
Well, their biggest fear is Chaos, right?
Yeah.
They'll shit themselves about
They'll
something.
unite against a common foe, but they won't like you and know.
It's their fault for creating Slaanesh anyway. Debaucherous orgies. But then so how do you think that all these changes we've discussed so far, I think we've covered just about everything, haven't we? In terms of changes, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
One thing I think...
Starter box, maybe.
Starter box, we've got, but one thing I think, with all the codexes being completely wiped out, you're going to get everything from menu. It gives them a total reset on balance. Because I don't know about you, but I think the biggest issue with 7th Ed isn't how 7th Ed plays, but how the individual codexes balance.
Yes.
7th Ed is a very good addition. The problem is
see, I like 7th Ed as well, but it's the problems we spoke about before.
Yeah,
it's those.
The problems we've been having with 7th Ed is I've been running Orcs, Chaos, Demons against Eldar and Tau and Great Hunts and going, what can I actually do here, because I'm so outmatched.
I remember that game about a year ago, warming up for a tournament where you weren't sure what you were playing, but you turned up with Orcs, I turned up with Eldar, and I pretty much blew you off the board in 2 turns.
Well, that was a game not too long ago where I was playing Chaos and you were playing Eldar and you blew me off the table in turn 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're like such a top tier army. And the thing with the balance though is it's a difficult one, because they have to redress the balance, but not completely eliminate it. It's part of the business model, isn't it? So to keep the business model moving forward, they've got to constantly shift the balance to sell models, and that's fine. They're a business.
I mean, it's also nice that we're
But
getting
not tip it too far like it is now to one end of the scale, right?
I mean, if you think back to 40k, 5th, 6th, 7th, we're all essentially the same mechanic.
Yeah.
We got new missions in 6th, Maelstrom. Maelstrom was 7th?
Yeah, Maelstrom only came out in 7th. 6th, you got a lot of changes, like overhaul.
Yes, yeah, from 5th to 6th.
And then it was 7th where the Maelstrom missions came out, yeah.
But what I'm saying is the game's been relatively the same for
a long time.
all those editions.
Yeah.
I mean, between 5th and 6th, that was a 4-year jump, and then we've had 2-year jumps since.
Yeah.
So
Well, less
like
between 6th and 7th. 6th and 7th was like a year and a half.
It was pretty much 2 years, and then this is kind of 7th. We've almost had 3 years by the time by the time 8th comes out.
A year and a half.
But so yeah,
And that's what's so angry about the rulebook.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Why have you done this?
No, I lose track of time.
you
I'm
know,
old.
for us that have been playing since 4th or 3rd Ed,
Yeah.
it's a nice refresh.
And we fed it, yeah.
Yeah, we've been playing the same relative game with a few tweaks.
See, but I like that they brought some of the old stuff back in there, like the movement value. That was
Yeah.
used in like 2nd edition, wasn't it? I think they got rid of it in 3rd.
Yeah.
But I like they brought that back. I really like it, like in the way they're going to be using it.
But it makes sense as well because you know a bike might be faster in certain races than other races. Like why is a jet bike the same speed as a chaos bike?
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense.
You know, why at the moment can a Terminator, huge, heavy armoured
Yeah.
run at the same speed as a Gene Stealer?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, makes no sense whatsoever, does it?
So yeah, be interesting to see the initiative and how that works with the charging and combat. Because even if a Terminator with a power which charges into a Gene Stealer, you still imagine a Gene Stealer striking first.
Yes, but I thought there was that they're introducing a mechanic where you can withdraw from combat as well, can't you?
You can, yes.
There is a mechanic in Sigma called Retreat where if you're within 3 inches of an enemy you can't move unless you move away from them. You have to end your move out of 3 inches and you can't shoot or run or charge.
And I think in 40k what you're getting is kind of the same thing, but your opponent will also get a chance to shoot.
Sure.
Have we seen
So
anything
you reckon they're
about,
going to retain the Overwatch?
I reckon something
Yeah.
like that. Have we seen anything about leadership yet? Because
Yes.
one thing with 40k currently is leadership's very, if you're a race that ignores it, you ignore it. If you're a race that has a benefit that gets around it, no, and 90% of races don't care about leadership. So morale's a really minor thing.
So they have. So I think the League Space Marine profile had leadership of 7.
Yes. I see through
Which was
all
1
that.
point lower, and what they've been talking about doing is using the a similar thing to what they do in Sigma again, where you at the end of the combat, I guess it is, or the end of the turn, possibly or phase, you roll a dice and add the number of casualties you suffered,
Sure.
and then however much the total beats your leadership by, that many dudes basically run off and just remove from play. So you're not going to see units physically moving backwards on the table anymore. It's going to be,
see them crumbling.
okay, my Space Marine squad suffered 5 casualties, I roll a dice, I got a 4, that's 9, that puts my leadership by 2 more guys bugger off.
I mean, that does bring into contention a bit of the grind factor. Like some Sigma games, you had 2 combat armies run into the middle and just grind and grind.
That's the big concern I have, because with Sigma, it all just ends up as a big, gang
It certainly can do.
in the middle of the board, and just like this is a big grind fest in the middle, and then it's just
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm worried about with the mechanics, but it does seem that it's different enough from Sigma that's not potentially
I
not
think
going to
the
happen.
2
with 40K.
things that will particularly save 40k from that are first the ability to move away. I think people want to use more, and the fact that 40k you'd think have a lot more shooting to it. I mean, an Age of Sigma standard trooper has a shield and an axe, or a shield and a sword. 40k, your standard guy has an assault rifle.
Yeah, exactly. You've got rifles.
You've got a
so
lot
it's-
more range, you've got a lot more access to really powerful guns. Not that there aren't powerful ranged attacks in Sigma, but you know,
it's across the entire army. All the
yeah,
ranged
everyone
weaponry.
in most armies have a gun.
And the well, that leadership mechanic reminds me a lot of like the old Warhammer Fantasy Battle combined with the undead. You remember how the undead used to crumble in combat? Kind of a similar thing to that. So whatever you lose your leadership by, you lose.
Well, that's what makes sense, because a fearless model used to take wounds if you lost combat, didn't it? I think it was like 4th and 5th. So it makes sense, even if you're like a fearless, don't care type, you'll still be losing the combat, so you'll be trampled underfoot.
So you're
Undead aren't going to flee, they're just going to crumble.
Yes, yeah. They like lose willpower almost, don't they?
As they lose power, which makes sense for a general mechanic.
It does, I think it does, yeah. And I mean, you think that fearless units maybe fight slightly more carelessly, and that's probably because or why they're fearless in the first place. That's not normal, that's completely fearless. But, so I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys think that these changes we've gone through so far will tie in with the sort of tournaments? Because you guys play a lot of tournaments, much more so than me. So.
Well, an original redress of the balance will be nice, because that means you'll see other players. Lately in the tournament scene local, we've seen a lot of Chaos players come out of the woodwork, which has been really refreshing. So with this rebalance, you're going to see everyone go, hold on, my army's actually viable now. So you might actually see Tyranids and Orcs and Chaos Marines, as well as Eldar and Tau and Necron.
Yeah, all those sort of armies that have been relegated to the peripheries coming back in.
Yeah. I'm thinking the top 8 at Ultimate Commander, not this year but last year when I played it, because I couldn't make it this year, literally was 4 Eldar armies, a Necron army that had Eldar allies, 2 Tau armies, and then a Tyranid army that got lucky.
That's really lucky.
Yeah.
Well, with Skyblight, so there's actually a legitimate Tyranid tactic with that. I literally put models on the board and you can't get rid of them, and they come back if you do.
And speaking about Tyranids, in 8th edition, I foresee Tyranids being a really cool army to play.
Yeah.
At least from the changes I've heard about so far, I think Tyranids will be a lot of fun to play.
It'll be interesting to see, definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's you're gonna see a lot more variety in the meta, which is really cool. Also, it's going to be a complete relearning for everyone. You're not going to suddenly be able to call upon X many years' experience of the game, because it's a complete refresh. It's going to be different enough that newer players are going to kind of be on the same. We're all on the same level because we're all learning new.
I know what you mean. So in addition to redressing the balance of the different armies somewhat, you redressing the balance of knowledge of the game system and how to exploit the various nuances.
So I don't know about you so much, but you name a codex on the shelf and you ask me a unit, I'll be able to tell you what that unit can do, what its stats are, what it's viable for, and so that would be. I imagine we'll take some of that going forward. So the more experienced players will be able to use that knowledge of, this unit used to be good at this, I'll watch out for it.
A Terminator is still going to be hard to kill.
Of course, you generally know what's going to be.
An Orc's still going to be better at fighting than shooting, but you're not going to have the specifics initially.
You can't sort of, for want of a better term, you can't rules lawyer as much. I know that's not the right term, but you know what I mean. Exploit the rules as much.
And also, with the slightly more condensed rules, it's going to be less peripheral, like faff and gaps you can exploit.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to, the less rules there are, the less gaps there'll be.
Yeah.
But there's also potential to make more gaps with less rules, which is not filled.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It could go either way. By the sounds of it, they've been working on it for a long time, so I imagine we'll get a pretty tight system to start with.
And it seems they've actually done something which used to be very unusual for Games Workshop, and they've actually asked their fan base, how should we design this rule system?
They got a new CEO at some point, and since he came in...
Yes, what's his name again?
No,
the new one? I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, the new guy.
Since he's come in, he's been really engaging with the community, which is amazing. Like, he was at Adepticon, and he went to the ITC. He was there, taking info from people.
And that's such a stark contrast to what GW had been like previously.
When the last batch of 7th Ed FAQs came out, they didn't just be like, here's your FAQs, get on with it. They're like, here's the FAQs we're thinking of, here they are, these are draft FAQs, what do you guys think? And there were stark changes to the FAQs that they released as draft, and the FAQs that we eventually got as full. For example, the mess they originally were going to make a drop mods. And like, no, that ain't going to work, guys.
Oh, that's
And
good. At least they're putting it to people and getting feedback. Finally, right?
They've actually had, you know, playtesters who aren't employed by GW. They've got approached organisations and been like, test these rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. One thing maybe they might do though is take away some of the aspects of basis. Like Sigma works purely on models, like the range from the weapon of the.
I don't know how much I like that though with Sigma.
Yeah,
It's
well,
a bit...
they now have in the General's Handbook kind of a section about house rules, and they say one very common house rule is that you measure from the base rather than the model. And I think a lot of people, certainly the most recent game of Sigma I've had was like, we're just measuring from the base. You know, you don't need to worry about modelling your lance really far forward, and it makes more sense. And I
guess it stops modelling for money.
I think we'll stick with base.
Yeah.
Because 40k is played more competitively than Sigma anyway, I think.
Although the Sigma scene has been picking up massively recently.
Since the General Handbook, right?
Well, that's the thing. I think this 40k edition is going to be really good because they've learned from their mistakes.
Exactly.
They've taken Sigma and gone, oh, what have we done wrong here? They've brought up the handbook and watched the Sigma boon again.
Yes, I mean it completely died off until General
I
Handbook.
say Sigma came out, they had a big boom when it came out, and then it died off, and then they had a big boom when it came out with the handbook, and since then it's staggered back up. So
And now it's getting even more like because we've got the new sort of full Codex for Stormcast, we've got the new Steampunk Dwarfs that a lot of people are raving about. It's really starting to get the momentum.
Squats.
I mean, I know you're not a fan of steampunk, but
No, but as squats.
yeah.
Amazing.
Like when the Fire Slayers came out, people were like,
I'm an arm.
but then they brought these out, and that's brought a group of people in.
Like you said, right, because initially I was a bit like, man, don't like steampunk that much, but as soon as somebody said to me, squats, I was like, wait a second. I was like, these guys could be the perfect squats.
Are we going to get squats in 40k?
Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it.
There is.
One can only hope. But
I heard a rumour many moons ago that the reason that squats never came back wasn't because they didn't want them back, but because back when they were originally designed, they weren't so careful about who owned their intellectual property. So the intellectual property for the squats was owned by the guy who designed them, who then left the company, rather than by the company. Now these days they'd never do that.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that would certainly be a reason.
But if some guy who doesn't work for GW owns intellectual property, they just ain't going to be able to do it.
Exactly, yeah.
I want space dwarfs.
Yes, space dwarfs would be cool. I am not saying they wouldn't be cool. I'm just, until I actually see some official stuff from GW, you get your hopes
I mean, we got Gene Cole back, so
We did,
Yeah,
yes.
that
and
was
they're
a pretty amazing moment in time.
Speaking of Gene Cult though, one thing I think you will potentially see is close combat becoming more of a thing again.
Yes.
Because apart from very specific builds, generally it's a very shooty game. It's regarded as, particularly at tournament level,
Particularly 7th edition, right?
particularly 7th edition at tournament level, very few people worry about combat.
Sure.
But now with my orcs, if I charge you with my orcs at the moment, you're going to get to swing before I do anyway, and half my orcs are going to be dead before they even get to fight. Now, that charge gives you
Makes it all
initiative.
more important, yeah. That certainly seems to be a lot of the thinking among the guys I've spoken to so far, saying that, close combat is going to become a lot more important in 8th edition.
It's interesting because it's a way for people to play. But when looking at a sci-fi universe, you would think of people who shoot base.
A general sci-fi universe, yes, but with the grim
40k
dark
is so different, isn't it?
the close combat
It's really a medieval sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean,
really.
Space Marines, they're sci-fi, they wear technologically advanced armour.
They fight like knights.
So they fight like ye olde knights, and they're meant to be as good at close combat as they are at shooting, and they're just not.
No.
I mean, they have the same ballistic skill as weapon skill, but what's the Space Marine going to do? Shoot you from 24 with his 2 shots from 4 AP5 bolter,
Exactly right.
or run all the way across the board,
Get
hit
overwatched.
you with his knife, get overwatched in the process with a
Precisely.
plasma rifle,
It would if it was a space wolf.
Yes, and what was it you were telling me the other week about Space Wolves probably being the least competitive Astartes Codex?
There is that.
But
not for long.
Not for long.
Not for long,
You know, I'm really looking forward to being able to say, okay, I can actually bring my orcs, my cult speed, and have a competitive army.
I'm really looking forward to orcs being,
Good.
up there again because it's a cool army.
My Eldar. Play my Eldar and not think I'm playing such a cheesy army here.
Yeah.
And
It almost makes you not want to play them, doesn't it?
It'll be nice to be able to play the less competitive armies just because you don't play them because there's no point. I mean, as much as we play for fun, there is that competitive element, and you're doing it to win.
you play for
course you are,
fun, but there's
because it's,
absolutely no fun in getting shot off the board inside two sides.
Precisely,
Yeah, exactly. So
Fun goes both ways, doesn't it, in terms of... And then tying into that, tying quite nicely actually, in terms of your favourite armies, how do you think, all of the changes that we've spoken about so far were actually going to affect your favourite armies?
see, I'm a massively combat fan. Like orcs, Tyranids, demons, Khorne. Starting Zinch, but that'll be interesting. But like those are my mains, and they're all combat. So I think the new edition will be good fun. It'll be nice to have some of my lower tier armies not just suck without playing the ultimate cheats.
Sure.
And along with the more competitive armies, actually feeling like I'm getting a good game.
So one thing I'm looking forward to is being able to play the armies of the theme that I like, and that theme being more balanced. Because, I love to play orcs as a cult of speed. They're all red ones go faster, and at the moment that does not work. Maybe trucks will be good again. I have some more than just getting one-shotted all the time, and I'll hit combat and actually be able to do something.
You're right with the themes though, because I mean that's what makes 40k so popular, I think, and what makes it such a compelling game to play is the theme and the story behind everything, right?
And
that's what makes it amazing. And if you've got the rules that match the theme, brilliant.
With my salamanders, I feel like at the moment I'm being sort of, the way Space Marines work at the moment, you're kind of pigeonholed into, if you want to compete with the top tier, you need to go demi-company. And actually that kind of almost slips out of the theme of salamanders, who are meant to be a little bit under strength, but a bit more heavily equipped and want to really get up in your face. So that might be another thing.
It's always nice to have your army go, okay, this is what I want to build, and you see it grow, and you see your theme, and you can make the story.
And it works in the game.
Yeah, it's always nice for 2 and 2 to go together.
Absolutely.
And just generally having more even matchups between the armies we have. Like at the moment, if we're planning to have a close game, and I know you're bringing Gene Pool, then I have to bring Eldar to be on the same level as your Gene Pool.
Sure, I know what you mean.
If you're bringing your orcs and I bring my Eldar, I kind of feel like a bit of a douche.
You're like trying to tier match the armies, aren't you? Almost.
Whereas hopefully, if they do what they say they want to do, they'll be able to be like back to how it should be, where I bring an army, you bring an army, and we don't have to think about tier matching. We just have to think.
Pick on theme pretty much.
What you want to bring today, what I want to bring today. Oh, you're bringing Mechanicum. Okay, I won't bring my Marines because that isn't very themed. I'll bring something else.
But it still relies on tactics and good game mechanics. And that's the thing. It's not going too far one way.
The win is going to be based on how you play and a bit on luck, rather than I'm bringing Eldar, you're bringing Chaos.
Exactly.
Don't you? Or
I've got a cookie cutter list that's top tier and smash everything. And then. What about, just to finish off the chatting about the new starter box, because I mean, I've seen your artwork with the Space Marine that's sort of half and half with the 2 bolters. What do you guys, I've heard lots of different rumours, spoken to a lot of different people, what do you think is going to be in the new starter box?
One thing I'm pretty sure we'll see, based on that picture and what we've already had leaked, models-wise, is Death Guard. Because why would those models have been leaked so far in advance? The starter box, really, you'd think it's going to be the first new miniature product.
That's, you'd imagine that would drop first, right?
Why would they release some Death Guard before they release the Star Wars? So pretty sure we're looking at Death Guard. And then the obvious counterpoint to that is going to be some sort of Marines, probably Ultra Marines, I would think, because Guilliman is very ascendant right now.
I would imagine offshoot Ultra Marines, more designed how Guilliman would make them, basically.
So, like Guilliman's personal retinue.
Like prop Marines.
Yeah.
And I imagine he'll go off and start building his own Guilliman chapter.
So I've heard a bunch of different rumours. Somebody mentioned to me like Dark Eldar and Marines. Another person mentioned to me about just like a regular chaos, like Undivided or Khorne chaos. But judging from that art,
the thing is with Death Guard and Marines is you get two different armies that work similarly.
Yeah.
So it's a very easy point to pick up and play.
Absolutely.
The idea of the start box is someone from new to the hobby can come in and go, I'm going to play, and not have to go, okay, I want to play this army because it does X, Y, Z. And they're not going to know.
Sure, well, both armies are Marines, right?
Yeah.
So
If both armies are similar but different in quirks, then it makes a game.
like I said, general principles are roughly the same.
Yeah, but it makes a good pickup as well.
Sure.
And I think there's enough variety in those that you're still going to have two armies that, although they have kind of the same core mechanics, work differently. You know, Death Guard, maybe you've got a lot more in the way of Terminators or even some Plague Bearer allies.
Maybe cultists.
Maybe some cultists like they have in the current one. Whereas Marines, you've got a lot more straight down the line Space Marines, maybe some Scouts, maybe Land Speeder, Dreadnought. Those are all things that have been included in the starter box before.
I mean, starter boxes have always been Marines, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Every starter box has had Marines of some flavour, because there wasn't a first ed starter box, or if there was...
Yeah, all of them have,
Yeah, the second ed was Blood Angels, third ed was
Black Templars.
Fourth ed was Ultramarines, fifth ed was Ultramarines, sixth ed
Dark
was
Angels.
Dark Angels, and seventh ed kept the sixth ed box with new rules,
So, yeah. Space Marines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they're the poster
Plague
boys.
Marines.
Yeah.
But I say they're a good having starter box because they are a flat line.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do with the Space Marine.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, there's the rumours about the slightly larger Space Marines as well, which I've heard about. And somebody said to me earlier on this evening about apparently they might be sort of a, like you alluded to, like an offshoot of a Gilliman chapter, or influenced by him, and actually being taller than other Marines. I think.
Maybe Marines with fresh jeans or something.
Sure. Yeah, but
I mean, with Gilliman coming back, he's got a lot of knowledge from the heresy that he's going to be able to put back into the 41st millennium. So you might see, well, you've already seen Cataphracti coming back. Some of the older heresy stuff. So you might see some heresy stuff start to filter in a new form into the 41st.
Yeah, sort of slight overlap, hey?
Yeah, because Gilliman was meant to be the poster boy. He was good at everything, master of nothing sort of thing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's the Ultramarine.
Exactly.
So he will be, he's like the ideal candidate to bring back the sort of pre-heresy sort of stage.
So, is there anything that you guys are concerned about?
I say the one thing I mentioned earlier was the turn priority.
Yes.
In 40k, I don't think that would work, personally.
No,
I don't either.
I think
I
in
agree.
such a shooty heavy game, or a game that can be shooty heavy, I mean, 2 turns of being pinged at by Stormcast with bows is one thing. 2 turns of having a full tank company open up on you is...
Bit of a different story.
Yeah, I think it would offset the balance to make it too luck-based with the amount of firepower you can theoretically level in 40k. And I think the other thing is just how much we don't know yet. There's still a lot we don't know, and hopefully what we've seen so far is all good.
Yeah.
But you have to be cautious in your optimism, because you don't want to kind of, there's still potential they could do things that we might not like, but based on what we've seen so far and how they've been going about preparing for this, it should, fingers crossed, all be
I say one thing
good.
I am scared of is what sort of missions we're going to get. Because with more competitive, some people really like Eternal War, some people really like Maelstrom. I think a mix of both would be nice, where you've got progressive objectives like Sigmar has. Sure. But if they bring in only endgame objectives, I think that kind of, it doesn't make the game as great. I like an objective to work towards as well as an endgame maybe.
Yeah, the Sigmar ones, the missions you've got there, they often, you can score a point every turn you hold this objective, you get another point, for example, or you get points on the objective equal to the turn number, so it racks up as the game goes on.
Yeah.
So there's an incentive to hold it throughout the game, but it still could potentially turn in the last turn. I think that keeps it interesting throughout.
It does. It helps you stay sort of interested in the game turn by turn.
I'm definitely looking forward to. They're going to bring in the new 3 ways to play. They did bring it from Sigma.
Yes, yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Which
Yeah.
means we're keeping points, which
Points
is
are,
Yeah,
in
that's
fact, we're getting
that's
double
an
points.
essential to keep.
Because you're getting the proper, what they refer to as granular points, like we get at the moment, where different weapon upgrades have different costs, so it'll feel very much like it is now.
So more micromanaged.
Micromanaged points like we've got. And then there'll also be a system that's a bit more like Sigma that's designed to be used in the narrative games where, 10 Space Marines cost this many points, regardless of what they're
generalist,
armed
and
with,
you get
for
what you
kind
get.
of giving a rough balance for narrative games and quick sort of beginner level games, and then when you want to play a competitive tournament, then you micromanage your points and upgrades.
Interesting.
And then you've got open play, which is just bring whatever.
Bring stuff, put it down, and roll dice.
Yeah, I hope they put those micromanaged points into each book
I hope so.
believe
rather than doing it like a general's handbook. Because the thing with the handbook is it's nice to have all the points in one place, but now new models have come out and new books have
That's
come
right,
out.
yeah.
Are those new, I don't know if the new points are in the new books currently.
I'm
We've got the
99% sure they are.
Yeah, I don't know if the points are in this book yet, but
There we go.
Oh, so
There they
they
are.
actually
Yeah,
have
so
them
we've
right.
got
They
points
And
got
I
them.
know the new Stormcast one has them as well. So
yeah.
So they actually overlap them, which is good.
yeah,
And
there we go.
That is actually like I've got the Zinch book here I picked up earlier, but just have the points for all of your models on the back page.
And you reckon
Makes building an army so much easier.
that's going to be, the overlap's going to be between that and the new 8th edition of 40k, something similar to that, with the different tiers of points,
Yeah.
the way that you can structure your lists.
One thing I am scared of though is if they do a 4-page rulebook for 40k.
Yeah, look, I mean, if it's overly simplistic, that's
Yeah,
one of
that's
the
what
concerns that I have.
I mean, I like 40k for its depth of rules complexity. I can understand how it's really hard for someone who doesn't play a lot or is coming into the game to get into it, because they look at a 400-page rulebook and you're like, oh, this does this in this situation.
Well, look,
But if you change it in this
there's a
situation.
big difference, isn't there, between making a game dumbed down and making a game streamlined. It's like the ballistic skill thing, right? Why have a table when it just means one thing anyway, and you just put that one thing on the table, right?
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between streamlining and dumbing it down. I don't think dumbing down is a good thing. However, I think streamlining is a good thing.
Like
So,
templates.
yes, precisely.
Yeah, I mean, dumbing down in some situations could be nice, but
If something is really convoluted and overly complex,
Yeah.
yes.
I think it won't be the 4-page book because they said a couple of times in a couple of different places it's still going to feel like 40k. It's not
hope
a
so.
new game. Age of Sigmar isn't Warhammer Fantasy Battle 9th edition. It's
No.
a completely new game.
Yes.
This is 40k 8th edition. So they certainly sound, from what they're saying, like they want it to be a continuation with a lot of changes, but it's still going to have the same feel. And I don't think you could possibly make the feel of 40k in a 4-page rulebook.
I don't think so either, I agree. But
it'd be nice. Like the idea with Sigma, they did it. They dumbed down the way the wound mechanic works. In 40k, the wound mechanic is ridiculously stupid. In fact, to stand up set with 4 people explaining how wounds work in combat, because it's wound pools on initiative, wound pools with different weapons.
yes, yeah.
And trying to explain that is actually really, really stupidly convoluted. So dumbing it down to you roll on this initiative, you roll on that initiative.
Well, again, I would argue that that's more streamlined than dumbed down.
Yeah, that's
Right.
streamlining. Dumbing down would be,
Making it
just
so
all happens
simplistic
together.
that it's just. But look, guys, on that point, I think we'll end off there.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the chat between Sam, Will, and I. Certainly good to kind of formulate our thoughts. At least it was good for me anyway.
Yeah,
But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave comments below. This is going to be both on Sam and Will's channel as it will be on mine. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. And thanks very much, Sam and Will.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Yeah.
Catch you later, mate.
Good to have a chat.
See you later.
Take care, dudes. No, my mouth's going to be as dry as Gandhi's fucking flip-flopping at me.
Right. I'll get some directed. You want to have
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't even think I've finished my Diet Coke, so you want to grab that in my water, if that's all right? Your mouth like Gandhi's flip-flop. We've got to be careful with the politically incorrect jokes.
Yes.
Audience. Yeah, please. I think that like anybody who doesn't like politically incorrect fake jokes have probably left my channel already.
Do you want a can?
Yeah, please do, thanks. Like Pepsi, yeah. You're a star, man.
Oh, go on then. You twisted my arm.
Oh, God.
Yeah, yes, except I have a massive caffeine addiction.
Didn't take much twisting.
No, that was about as, as easy to persuade as Bin Laden with a goat.
Oh, dude, brutal. So what book's that, man?
This is the sounds, I'm just stealing it. It's the Disciples of Zinch for Sigmar. We're doing hoping to do a Sigmar at a campaign league thing.
Oh, Sam did tell me about that.
Yeah.
I might be joining in. Oh, because of the place, of course. I don't know.
It's because it's a ladder. It's unlimited in theory. So yeah, what would you run?
Well, what are the undead called now? They're not called vampire cats anymore.
They have, depending on what flavour of vampires, they have a few different names. Flesh Eater Courts is all the ghouly vampires, the ghouls.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones of death so far that have got a proper book. Everybody else kind of just has to get you by rules still.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So yeah, the Flesh Eaters are pretty nasty.
What are they like in the game though? Are they actually any good?
Well, they beat me my Stormcast last time I played them. They're they feel like they should. Particularly the little guys keep coming back to life.
Oh, really?
So they're not like the ghouls, they're not particularly strong, but they get like D6 models back every turn, or there's at least a way to make them get D6 models back every turn.
Is that the skeletons of ghouls?
That's the ghouls. I think skeletons and zombies probably have something similar.
Is that my one there?
I don't faced the...
Well, I mean, the ghouls always used to be like potent because it was the two attacks that were poison. Was always the thing with them, like in old fantasy. So they could threaten anything, couldn't they?
In theory, anything can threaten anything now.
Really?
Because obviously there are things that are much better, but there is no toughness comparison in Sigmar.
It's just if you hit,
Flat roll to hit, flat roll to wound.
does it win as well?
Yeah, for the wound, unlike New 40k, which is still doing a sort of toughness comparison, Sigmar you have a flat to wound, and then it's your save and your wounds that give you your resilience. So, Cursing Iron Zinch, he always hits on 3, always wounds on 4 with the red for the 1, but then you have guys who have much higher wounds.
Is that the old village the Cursing with the little dude on his shoulder?
I think so.
Chub his little helper on his shoulder. Get off me, you little freak! Right, so you want to smash this video? I'm just trying to make sure that the camera angles are all in the frame, aren't we?
Yeah, we are all in.
So if I turn like that, so I'm looking at you
You're
guys.
kind of being cut off halfway through your
Oh,
head.
am I? Okay, that's not good.
Come here. Get close. I don't bite.
It's an angle. Right, how's that? Is that alright? Like if I look like that?
Yeah, you can still see the half like the back half inch of your head or something. Yeah.
Right, that's fine, that's fine. Right, so
I'm front and centre.
right. Shall we?
We all ready? I have supplies.
Yeah, you've got to
Do you
get
want
the
to move
drinks,
that
man.
Zinch, but just in case something stupid happens and drinking?
Yeah, that's like the last thing you need, man. That's the store's copy, is it? As well.
No, that's one he's just brought.
Jesus, yeah.
I'm going to do the Zinch army because fucking cool models.
Somebody spilled Coke on the Zinch book. Zinch strikes again! You bastard!
Changed
Nobody
it
saw
from a
that
nice
coming.
new book to a shitty one.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Fucking Zinch. Right, are we still recording? Yeah.
Oh, we didn't actually start.
I just turned it
Oh,
on.
well, we can always clip.
Right, so let's go for it, dudes.
Yep.
Yeah?
Okay, 3, 2, 1.